everybody, my name is Miss Vanessa and I'd like to welcome you guys to another STEAM program online. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about an instrument called a pan flute. So a pan flute looks a little bit like this, and what it is it's a bunch of different straws that are cut at different lengths, and it creates a really interesting noise when you blow into the straws. So if we're really quiet and we take a listen, let's see if we can hear the sound that this instrument makes. And so the way this instrument works is each one of these straws are cut at different lengths, and so the air is escaping from each one of these straws at a different speed. So it takes a little bit longer for the air to escape this straw, but then it takes a little bit less time for the air to escape this straw, and then a little bit less for this one, and so on. And so the air going through the straw and the vibrations that it creates a different noise than when we blow into each one of these straws. And then when you put it all together, it makes a really cool noise. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how you can make your very own pan flute at home. And just using a couple of things that you might already have at home. So let's get started and I'll show you how to do this. Okay, so the things that I'm going to need for this project are a ruler that has centimeters on it, and that's the side that we're going to be using. We need some double-sided tape, some cardstock to stick our straws on, and then we're going to need 8 different straws. And so I'm going to tell you guys exactly what length you can cut these at in order to create the same sound that I had. But you can also experiment at home and cut your straws at any length that you want and see what kind of sounds that you can create at home without necessarily having to measure it out exactly. But let's start with the way I cut my straws. So our first straw has to be cut at 17.5 centimeters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to measure it to where I see the 17 and a half. And I'm going to mark that down, and then we'll move on to our next straw. So that's 17 and a half, and then our next one is 15 and a half. And then our next one is then at 13 and a half. And our next one is at 12 and a half. Our next one is at 11 centimeters. Our next one will be at 10 centimeters. Our next one is set to be at 9 centimeters. And our last one is set to be at 8 and a half. Now I can cut my straws where I mark them off, so that way they can be at the length that I want them to be. Okay, so my straws are all ready to go. I'm going to put those to the side, and I'm going to take a piece of cardstock and some double-sided tape, and I'm going to lay a strip of double-sided tape onto my cardstock. So now I can lay my straws by size from the tallest to the shortest onto our sticky side of our double-sided tape. So I'm going to stick my tallest straw onto the sticky side of our double-sided tape, and I want a little bit of it to be showing from the bottom. Alright, and it'll look like that. And so now we can take our next one and put that right next to it. And then our next one. Our next one. Here's our next one. Here's our next one. And then here's our last one. And I'm going to try to press them on there so that they stick really nice to our double-sided tape. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to add some double-sided sticky tape. And we're just going to put that over our straws. So that way they'll stick into place. And then we can just cut off the excess paper. Alright, so our pan flute should be all set to go, so it's not going to go anywhere. And so now we can test it out. And let's see if this one that I made has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straws. This one has 8. So let's see what this sounds like. Alright, that's super cool that we're able to make that sound just using a couple of straws. So I don't know any songs on the pan flute, but we're going to see if we can find different notes that I find recognizable and see if we can maybe play something on here. You guys tell what I was trying to play there? Let's try something else. Alright, I think that was my only successful attempt at playing something. Hopefully you guys can tell what it is at home. For those of you who haven't guessed it, I tried to play Mary Had a Little Lamb. Here, I'll do it again. Yay! Alright. So I hope you guys try to do this at home. It's super simple. You guys probably already have straws at home. I use bigger straws like smoothie straws or like boba straws to be able to make this, but you can use the smaller straws that you might have at home and it should work just fine. It might just be like the sound's a little bit lower because it's a narrower path that you're going to be blowing the air through. But I had a lot of fun playing around with this, and I hope you guys try it at home too. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!